Back when the original Xbox was new, a few gaming magazines and read were propping up this game as the Sonic or Mario equivalent for Microsoft's game console division. Introducing only on Xbox Blinx, the Time Sweeper. It was created by the masters of game design at Artoon, which is now called Arzest, the studio better known for Yoshi's New Island and Balan Wonderworld. With titles like that under their catalog, you know you're in for a great time. But this is their humble beginning, so expect slightly less quality compared to their later masterpieces. You control Blinx, who is one of the workers in the Time Factory. They make time and deliver it to many different worlds. I guess work that you have to be a cat and you have to look nearly identical to all the other workers. The Time Factory does not tolerate physical differences. Blinx himself is a sweeper who is supposed to clean up glitches in the worlds the factory monitors. One of the worlds monitored by the factory gets invaded by a gang of pigs who are stealing time crystals to sell in the time black market or something. And since there was a princess in that world, might as well kidnap her while at it. Some of the time crystals begin to turn into monsters for some unexplained reason, so the factory calls off to cut that world off their system. Blinx will have none of that though, because he saw a girl on the screen for 2 seconds and that was enough to make him go hubba hubba, so he goes alone to save that condemned world. You can move around, jump, and use the sweeper to suck or shoot objects. The sweeper can suck anything that counts as trash. Even perfectly normal and usable barrels and benches count as trash. So next time you see a park bench in real life, you better stay the hell away from it, because it's time trash. The goal in every level is to destroy every monster using the trash you collect, which unlocks the exit. There are also hidden cat emblems to find and unlock prizes in the collection menu. The game is split into 8 rounds, each with 4 levels and a shop. The 4th level is always a boss. It's based like any traditional 3D platformer, but it plays more like a timed puzzle game. I say timed because they do have a time limit of 10 minutes in total. Usually that's more than enough, but it's not always very clear what you're supposed to do, and the game's main mechanic can cause it to get soft locked. The main mechanic is your power to manipulate time. You collect time gems, which get converted to one of 5 of those time control powers. Time gems are found around the level in plain sight or dropped by monsters you defeat. You can then rewind time, make everything faster, slow down everything around you, freeze time, or make a temporary clone of yourself repeat your previous actions. Those powers will last for a few seconds when activated. However, to convert gems into any of those, you need at least 3 of the same gem. You're only allowed to carry up to 4 gems, and you can't throw away any of the gems you carry until you have 4. If you end up with less than 3 of the same gem, the game will throw away all 4 of them. This forces you to tiptoe around gems you want to avoid, so you can get 3 or 4 of the same gem for the ability you actually want. This can make stocking on useful powers very tedious to do, and the gems don't respawn, so if you mess up too much, you could end up completely unable to progress or get the emblem you want, forcing you to restart the whole level. You can make this slightly more manageable if you buy time holders in the shop. You can also buy different costumes, a bigger pack to carry trash, and different kinds of sweepers. Gold to buy those items can be collected in the levels or obtained as payment based on what kind of trash was in your sweeper when you reach the goal. But if you want everything that can be unlocked in the shop, get ready to replay levels over and over. You might notice in the presentation style that this game shares some of its DNA with Nights into Dreams. It has very similar vibes, and that's because Naoto Oshima founded the studio behind this. And not to describe Yuji Naka's own input, but I'm convinced Oshima may have had a bigger influence on Night's art and writing direction. Just like with Nights into Dreams, the only Xbox Blinx the time sweeper, pretty much anyone can reach the end of a level. But the point of the time magic, the playtime counter, and gold rewards is to encourage you to aim for a higher clear rank. You will have no clue what to do to clear levels with a high rank until you learn to make extensive use of the time manipulation mechanic, and especially the fast forward ability. That ability feels pretty much designed for fast clear, since for its duration you can't even take damage. If you do get damage in this game, time automatically rewinds 2 seconds before you got hit, then there's a short countdown, then you can control Blinx again. It looks cool the first few times, but it gets very annoying to see this happen every time you die. You need retry gems for this to happen, which you collect like other time gems. But retries go into separate slots working as extra lives, which you can expand if you buy bigger capacity at the shop. Oh, I guess they're crystals, not gems. Whatever, both words fit. I'm not sure if I could call this game an easy one, because the way Blinx controls certainly adds to it. He's not the most nimble platformer character, and the sweeper doesn't feel great as a weapon. It takes time to sweep anything, during which you're completely vulnerable to the enemies and bosses. In the first 3 rounds, this is something you can get used to, but once you reach the first stage in round 4, it's over. Sweeping trash and aiming to shoot at where you need to is slow and clunky. This doesn't work at all when there are multiple targets around you. The game tries to compensate this by making Blinx automatically target something when shooting, but this completely backfires in those later levels. You try to shoot at an enemy and he will shoot another piece of trash instead. The platform is also not great. It's very important to keep a visible shadow under the character at all times to help with the sense of depth when jumping, and this game often doesn't even do that. Sometimes you end up shooting with your sweeper when you want to suck because the brilliant programmers at Artoon thought it was a good idea to map both to the same button. Tap to fire, hold to suck, which is easier said than done sometimes thanks to the sluggish response. Better still, the Xbox had at least 5 buttons to choose from for those 2 specific actions, yet they mapped both the X button and the right trigger to do both actions. I guess we should be thankful sweeping and jumping use different buttons. I guess for an early Xbox game, the graphics are pretty good. I have no complaints about the character design or anything like that, but the music isn't super great. A couple decent tracks, but not much else. As for recommending this game, I think I'm gonna go with a no. It's too clunky even for its time, and the time manipulation mechanic is a neat idea that gets ruined by the annoying gem collecting. I usually make a point of reaching the ending of every game I cover. Only on Xbox Blinx levels were becoming way too unfun for me to bother. All thanks to the terrible semi-automated aiming and inconsistent hit detection. I made it to round 4, stage 2 and felt no desire to continue. Now seriousness, if you want to play an Artoon or Arzest game, literally every other game they made is going to be a better experience. That part wasn't a joke. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Do you have any thoughts about Blinx? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.